So it is Wednesday. It's been 2 days since my brother and I have dropped that onto the ground. Um, I'm going to get started with attaching the wood, which will be what we tap the sheet metal into. I have some worries regarding that as far as how well it's going to hold. As demoed on the shed behind me, I just went straight into the metal tubes and it's held fine. But with this, that was the original plan. But I want to have a little bit more space than just, the inch and a half that the tube is. Because eventually I'm going to insulate it in there and everything and make it like an actual structure. So, and now mind you, with all this added extra weight, I am going to be popping the support jacks in the two middle center pieces for extra support. I don't think it's going to be needed, but I'm not going to run the risk. So as far as this is concerned, my only real worry is how well do the screws take into the metal tubing when I attach them to the wood and then the sheet metal to the wood. I'm probably going to pre-drill the holes and then send the screws through, and I'm thinking I'm going to do like an epoxy glue type thing in each hole, and from there just handle the sheet metal. Here we go. So there's going to be 3 of these boards in each section. The front end is going to come off probably like half a foot to a foot. Since that's going to be the main entrance to it, I want to have a decent lip of overhang for rain or snow or whatever. The back is going to have maybe a quarter of a foot to a half a foot overhang. I'm not going to cut these because I want them on the inside to cut in, because again, the goal is eventually to make it a permanent-ish structure down the line. So those loose pieces hanging off the end are going to be what I mount lighting to and whatever else if I get that far. If I end up getting the roof on and the walls on and it seems like it's too much weight and I shouldn't go any further, then I'm not going to go any further and I'll just have it be what it is, hard-sided structure. But if it ends up being sturdy enough to support the extra weight, then I'll add insulation and lighting. But I'm gonna get to actually starting to build this thing now. I'm using these tie downs that are originally to hold the tarp on to just hold my boards in place while I work on them. So that way I can mount them where I want them and just go through and bang, 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 drill the holes and tap them in. So 1, 2, 3 sheet metal will get tacked into that, and then it's going to be staggered on the other side in between, or in the middle in between. So the mounting boards will be slightly offset, but now I'm using a smaller drill head. That way when the screw goes in, it still supports the metal out. If there's going to be problems, there will be problems. My small drill head broke, which it said that these were multi-use, but I kind of figured there was a chance of that happening, so I'm going to go in and get the good ones and the actual drill versus the impact. So I did find that one that's specified for metal that goes along with my, or works with my impact driver. So we're going to try that one first, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Oh, okay. So close up of exactly how I'm doing this. I'm just tapping the hole. For the adhesive, it's not really adhesive, it's flashing binder for like roofing and stuff. I'm not super over the top worried that this isn't gonna hold, but I am a little worried, so I just want something that's gonna give that extra bit of stick. So I drop a little bit on, then screw it in. Just like that, the top is done. So I'm gonna bang through the rest. What I did not realize was where my last clip ended there, I was trying to check the time and I cut off recording. So you really didn't miss much. I just finished up the last section. A little bit of an alignment issue at the top, but that's not a big deal because they're not structural. They don't have any major purpose other than to hold in the sheet metal and add a little bit more gap if I decide to insulate this down the line. So I'm losing daylight and I do have to work tonight, so I'm gonna stop for the night and just do the other half off camera. The roof will probably be put on, the sheet metal portion of it will probably be put on all in one go when I have full time, but this feels extremely sturdy as far as those being tacked in. I think that they're going to work really well. Hopefully they work really well. The hardest part of this is going to be, when all is said and done, picking this structure up and getting it back on those poles, because you have to do one pole at a time and it's not going to be easy. My brother and I are probably going to attempt it, doing one end, then the other end, then doing the middle poles. But we'll get there when we get there. For those of you that watch, as always, thank you. I didn't think it was really necessary to film the whole roof of this, because that would involve doing a second video on it, and it's just going to be the same thing we just saw, only I'm not going to cut off part of my filming trying to check the time. So I don't view it as necessary. It's really simple. Pre-drill the holes. If you're going to add in some type of adhesive to just give it that extra support, tap it over the holes, put the screws in, screw them in. I didn't have any major alignment issues, but I bungeed the boards in place to hold them where they had to be. So if you're going to do something similar to this, I would suggest bungeeing the boards in place. It goes really quick. Would have gone quicker if I had just bungeed every single one of them in place, drilled the holes, put the adhesive on, screws. It would have been done. But I was really trying to do one section at a time, get solid boards in so the next part could be lined up. All depends how you want to go about it if you decide to do something similar to this. Or just tap the sheet metal into the roof, or into the poles. But the issue with that is you can't see where your pole is. I had the issue on the small one where I was missing the pole and just getting to the side of it, and the screw was veering off the side, so I had to make multiple holes. With this, you've got this much board to hit by this much board to hit, or this much board to hit, so it's on camera. So you have a lot more target space, and it's easier to look at the end and go, okay, the board starts here, I can follow this seam as you're screwing the screws into the sheet metal, which is another reason why I decided to do this, not just if I decide to insulate it. It's going to be a lot easier to mount the sheet metal on. So have a great night, and we will see you when I shoot the next segment of this.